Hello my dear students, welcome to eCareerPoint-English medium YouTube channel. So how are you all? Hello Nagendra. So this is the last lecture of this chapter, Motion in One Dimension. Today we are going to complete this chapter. In previous class we were studying about the graphs. Hello Ansab. In previous class we were studying about the graphs. As you know, how to draw graph. I have taught you to how to draw a straight line equation using x and y coordinates and also the direct formula. Hello Mohammed, Dr. Mohammed. So in today's class we will continue that section, and today's class is very important because I am going to take some good examples to clear your concepts about the question related to graph. Okay. Unsub, stay tuned and you will get the complete notification of the upcoming chapters. And Mohammed, if you are new, I suggest you to subscribe this channel and press the bell icon. Those who are new, subscribe this channel and press the bell icon so that you can get the notification of upcoming lectures and upcoming online quizzes. Okay, it is very important to get notifications. Then only you can attend the class live. Okay, so let's start today's lecture. Okay. Before starting, let me introduce you to our toppers. These are our toppers of this NEET examination, the 2020. Okay, they have scored under 50 rank, and all of these students were from eCareerPoint Learning App regular classroom course. Okay, so this app is very amazing. The app contains both free stuff and paid courses. Okay, so I suggest you to download this app right now. Okay, it is very beneficial. The app is very beneficial. Download this app, eCareerPoint. Okay, from where? Definitely from Google Play. Download this app from Google Play. Okay, and how to download? All of you know that. Click here and search for eCareerPoint without any space, like this. Okay, and here you will find eCareerPoint Learning App. Just install this app. If you install, after installation you will see this window, the registration window. Registration is absolutely free, so do this registration, complete the registration and follow your experts. Okay, after completion follow your experts, because if you follow your experts you will be able to attempt the questions, practice question posted by your experts, and that is also free of cost. Okay, and if you want the complete notes that I am writing here, that I am showing you in this presentation, you can download it from this free stuff. Okay, there is an icon of free stuff. Just open this free stuff and you will see the free stuff. Okay, and scroll down and you will see this today's class course, that is 11th Physics NEET 2022, specially designed for English medium students. Okay, Mohammed, you have to practice a lot. Okay, a lot, as much question as you can, you have to practice in order to crack NEET. Okay, that is why I am saying that this app is very beneficial. If you open this, you will get this Motion in One Dimension. That is our current chapter. The next chapter will be available soon when we start. Okay, and in this you will find all the previous lectures, all my previous lecture. Yes, you can see all my previous lecture from here, and their respective notes in PDF format. You can download it from here. Okay, so you can download all the questions that I'm going to solve, all the notes that I'm going to display, those very important questions. You can download it from eCareerPoint app like this. Okay, so download it today and follow your experts and give a boost to your NEET preparation. Okay, this app is also for JEE students. See, before downloading that, you should know that you should select this medical, because I am teaching in NEET course, so you have to select medical if you want this. Okay, so, and also this app has both free stuff, free practice question, and also paid regular classes. If you want to purchase any paid course, you can use this code SK10 to get 10% discount on any app purchase. Okay, so download this eCareerPoint app right now and give a boost to your preparation. So let's get started with today's lecture. See, in previous lecture we have started the topic of graph, how to understand 1D motion from graph, and if we have 1D motion, how to draw its graph. That we have started in previous lecture. What we have studied in previous lecture? We have studied about position time graph. If we have position time graph of any particle having straight line motion, this chapter is motion in 1D, so we are discussing about those cases of straight line motion only. If any particle is having straight line motion and we have its position time graph, then by observing this position time graph, we can calculate average velocity and instantaneous velocity. How? If you want average velocity between any two time instances, then what can you do? Just draw the points on the graph. Listen, this is the graph. This is not the path. This is the graph. The path is a straight line. Okay, but the graph is like this. So suppose this is point A, this is point B, and you want the average velocity between A and B. That will be, join the points A and B, and the slope of this line, this chord, will give you the average velocity between T1 and T2. Okay, and if you want instantaneous velocity at a particular instant of time, suppose you want instantaneous velocity at this time, then what you have to do? See, at this time, what are the coordinates of graph? At the curve, if you draw a tangent, then slope, what is slope? Slope is tan theta, and theta is angle from x-axis in anti-clockwise direction. So if you want instantaneous velocity at any point, what you have to do? You have to draw just a tangent on that point, and slope of that tangent will give you instantaneous velocity. This thing we have covered in previous class. This is a quick revision of previous class because we are going to solve some questions related to this. Now, slope of chord between any 2 points on velocity time graph. Now we are talking about velocity time graph. This was position time graph. If we talk about velocity time graph, then slope of chord. Slope of chord means between any 2 points, if you draw a straight line, that is known as chord. So slope of chord between 2 points in velocity time graph will give you average acceleration. Okay, the slope of chord between 2 points in position time graph was giving average velocity, and the same thing in velocity time graph is giving average acceleration. Okay, because slope is the change per unit time, so it is average acceleration. And if you want instantaneous acceleration in velocity time graph, at any point, if you draw a tangent, then slope of that tangent will give you instantaneous acceleration. Okay, these concepts we have discussed in previous class. Now let's have a question. See, in this question we have velocity time graph, that means velocity versus time graph. See, this is velocity time graph. This curve is not showing the path of the particle. The path of the particle is a straight line, but this is velocity time graph of that particle. Now what you have to do? The VT graph of a moving object is shown in figure. Then find out the maximum acceleration and the time interval when acceleration is maximum, that you have to calculate from this given information. So tell me, what should be the answer? Options are not given. You have to answer without options. So how to solve this question? See, we have velocity time graph. In velocity time graph, what we have to do? If we want to find acceleration, we have to find out slope. of tangent or chord. So see, there are some interval of time where acceleration is same. This is point A, this is point B, this is point O, A, this is B, this is C, and this is point D. Now see, from O to A, the velocity is increasing. From A to B, the velocity is constant. From point B to C, velocity is again increasing. And from C to D, the velocity is decreasing. And the question is asking the maximum acceleration. From the graph, we can say that acceleration from interval A to B is equals to 0. Why 0? Because from A to B, the velocity is not changing. So definitely its acceleration is 0. Okay? And if we talk about acceleration from point C to D, again I am saying this graph is not showing the path of the particle. It is just velocity time graph of a particle having straight line motion. Okay? So acceleration from C to D, definitely it should be negative. Why it should be negative? Because from C to D, the velocity is decreasing from 80 meter per second to 0 meter per second. Okay? That means maximum acceleration is between O to A and or B to C. Now how to find acceleration? See, from O to A, in 20 seconds, the velocity has increased by 20 meter per second. But from B to C, in 10 seconds, the velocity has increased from 20 meter per second to 80 meter per second. That means 60 meter per second. So in which duration the maximum acceleration is maximum? Definitely between B and C. Good, Himal, very good. Definitely between B and C. But listen, this B and C I have drawn with my own pen. So it was, these notation were not given in the question. So we will say between 30 seconds to 40 seconds the acceleration is maximum. Now how to find average acceleration? If we talk about average acceleration from O to A, as you can see, it is see, change in velocity is 20 meter per second and time taken is 20 seconds. So acceleration will be 1 meter per second. But because we know the concepts of graph, so we are going to solve this question with help of graph. Rajesh, well done. See, from O to A, angle is θ1. From B to C, suppose angle is θ2. So from O to A, slope of velocity time graph gives acceleration. So from O to A, acceleration is tan θ1. That is perpendicular by base. Perpendicular is 20, base is 20. So acceleration is 1 meter per second square. And as you can see, in 20 seconds, the increase in velocity is 20 meter per second. So acceleration should be 1 meter per second square. But in case of B and C, B to C, the acceleration will be tan θ2. And what is that? It is again perpendicular by base. Now see, for this is the value of perpendicular, which is 80 minus 20. That is 60. So it is 60 divided by base. What is base of this triangle? This is 40 minus 30, that is 10. So acceleration from B to C is equals to 6 meter per second square. Or see, this is the formula. But you can also find out by observing the graph only. See, from A to A in 20 seconds, the increase in velocity is from 0 to 20 meter per second. That means in 1 second, the increase was 1 meter per second, and increase in velocity per unit time is known as acceleration. Okay, so acceleration is 1 meter per second square. But here from B to C, in 10 seconds only, the increase in velocity is 60 meter per second. That means in 1 second, velocity has increased 6 meter per second. So acceleration is maximum, which is equals to 6 meter per second. So answer is 6 meter per second. And the time interval when acceleration is maximum is from 30 to 40 seconds. Is it clear to all of you? I can see you have given the correct answer. Well done, Tushar, Rajesh and Himal. Well done. Okay. Is it clear how to solve the questions of velocity time graph if acceleration is asked? Now let's move on to our next concept, that is velocity displacement graph. Now this is a different thing. This is not velocity time graph, this is velocity displacement graph. That means if we have the velocity as a function of displacement plotted on the graph, then which information we can conclude out? First of all, I am again telling you, this curve is not the path of particle. The particle is moving in a straight line because our chapter is motion in one dimension. This is just graph of velocity with displacement. Now, as you know, acceleration is given by rate of change of velocity with respect to time, that is dv by dt. Acceleration is dv by dt. If I multiply and divide it by ds and ds, see, this ds by dt will become velocity, ds by dt will become velocity, and dv by ds as it is. So, acceleration definition are two. Both are same. Acceleration can either be written as dv by dt, or it can be written as v into dv by ds. That means velocity at that particular instant where we want to find the acceleration multiplied by rate of change of velocity with respect to displacement. Yes, Tushar, this is differentiation. Okay. So both these definition you should know. Acceleration is dv by dt. Also, it is v dv by ds. And because Vs graph, the slope of Vs graph, basically what is the meaning of slope? Slope means dy by dx. Here in y-axis we are having v, in x-axis we are having displacement. So slope at any point will give us dv by ds. Okay, slope of Vs curve at any point will give us dv by ds. Okay, suppose if I want, if I draw slope at this point and this is angle theta, then slope will be dv by ds, which is equals to tan theta. Okay, and we know acceleration is v dv by ds. So from this graph we can calculate the acceleration if we know the instantaneous velocity at any point. Now to understand it clearly, let us solve an question. Let us solve an example. See, in this question we have velocity versus displacement graph. Okay, velocity v of a particle decreases linearly. What is the meaning of linearly? That means we have a straight line graph with its displacement from 20 meter per second to a value approaching 0 at displacement 30 meter. Then what is the acceleration of the particle when its velocity is 10 meter per second? See, as it is moving, first of all, this is not the path, actually it is moving in this direction. Suppose it is moving in this direction, then as its displacement is increasing, its velocity is decreasing. So after the displacement of 30 meter, it stops. This is the question. So what you have to do? Initially its velocity was 20 meter per second. Finally its velocity becomes 0. So when its velocity is 10 meter per second, you have to find the acceleration. This is the question. Okay, now how to solve it? See, very simple, very simple. We have velocity versus displacement graph. We can calculate its slope. Let me use another pen. See, suppose this angle is theta 1, then slope, which is known as dv by ds. For Vs graph, slope will be dv by ds, which is equals to tan theta 1, because the angle we have to take from positive x-axis in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, well done Rajesh, very good. And if I take this angle as theta 2, then this tan theta 1 can also be written as negative of tan theta 2. This you should know. Tan 180 minus theta is minus tan theta. So tan, what is theta 1? Theta 1 is 180 minus theta 2, so it should be minus of tan theta 2. And because it is a straight line, slope of a straight line is same at all the points, because if you draw tangent at any point, you will get the same straight line. So slope, we have calculated. What is that slope? It is equals to negative of perpendicular by base. Tan theta 2 we have to calculate. Perpendicular is 20 and base is 30. So we got that dv by ds is equals to negative of 2 by 3. And it is asking the velocity, the acceleration when velocity is 10 meter per second. So acceleration, we know we have v multiplied by dv by ds. That means velocity multiplied by rate of change of velocity with respect to displacement. We have rate of change of velocity with respect to displacement that we have calculated, and as you can see, acceleration is dependent on velocity. Initially the acceleration is maximum because velocity is maximum. As velocity is decreasing, the acceleration is also decreasing. So when velocity is equals to 10 meter per second, acceleration is equals to, put velocity equals to 10 and dv by ds is constant, that is minus 2 by 3. So you will get acceleration is equals to minus 20 by 3. Acceleration should be negative because it is retarding, meter per second square. Hence answer is option B. Is it clear to all of you? These examples are very important. Okay. So hit the like button if you are new and hit the subscribe button and share this session to all of your friends because this is very beneficial. We are taking this Kota coaching classes on YouTube for all of you, and this channel is especially for English medium students, especially from South, so that you can also get the access of Kota coaching from YouTube. Okay. Now let's move to another problem. In each problem you will learn something. So each and every question is very important. If you are not getting answer in first attempt, don't worry. If you are getting answer after my solution, that is also good. So see this question. The graph between v square, this is something different, v square and displacement of the particle is shown in the figure. This is the graph. Okay. Then what is the acceleration of particle? Now the theory which we have studied is not applicable, because we have derived theory for Vs curve, not for V square S curve. So that formula is not valid. So how to solve this question? Think. In previous lecture, I told you how to write the equation of a line if you know its slope and y-intercept. So see, here on y-axis, we are having v square, and on x-axis we are having displacement. If I can write the equation of this graph, I will get the relation between velocity and displacement, and that will be beneficial to calculate the acceleration. Are you getting my point? And as you can see, by seeing the option, we can conclude that acceleration is constant. See, by looking at options, we can conclude acceleration is constant. So though this kind of question is not, you cannot solve it by those methods, but because you know the straight line equation, you can easily solve it. How? See this. What is the equation of straight line? Equation of straight line is y equals to mx plus c. This is the equation of straight line. Here y is v square, x is s. Okay. So if we get the y-intercept and slope, then we will get the relation between v square and s, and by this relation only we can get the acceleration. So tell me quickly, what is the slope of this line and what is the y-intercept for this line? And you can also give me the final equation between v square and s. In previous lecture, I have told you about how to draw the straight line. If you are new, you can watch my previous lecture. They are available both on app and this YouTube channel. Now see, well done Himal, very good, you're right, well done. See, the slope, if you want to calculate slope, what is slope? Slope is tan theta, where theta is slope, which is m, which is tan theta. It will be dv square by dx, which is not useful for us. Tan theta 1, okay, and it is difficult to calculate the tan theta when theta is greater than 90 degree. So we can calculate this theta too, and we know that slope can also be written if we are taking angle from negative x-axis in clockwise direction, then we can also write slope is negative of tan of that angle theta 2. So what is slope? What is slope? It is negative of perpendicular by base. Perpendicular is 25 minus 9, that is 16, divided by base is 2 minus 0, that is 2. So we got that slope is equals to minus 8. And what is y-intercept? Good, Rajesh, very good. What is y-intercept? Y-intercept of this straight line, what is the meaning of y-intercept? The y-coordinate where the graph is cutting the y-axis, and that is 25. So C is equals to 25. Now we can write the complete equation. We know instead of y, we are having v square. So v square is equals to, slope is minus 8 into x, we have displacement s plus 25. This is s and this is 5. Okay. So we have the equation that v square is equals to 25 minus 8s. As you know, because acceleration is constant, and when acceleration is constant, equations of motion are applicable. Equations of motion are applicable. Do we have any equation which give relation between v square and s? You can compare that equation with this equation and you will get the acceleration. M is equals to minus 8. Okay. See, we have the equation that is v square is equals to u square minus 2as. Okay. First of all, we have find out this equation between v square and s. Now we can compare this with third equation of motion, and we will get that initial velocity is 25. Definitely it is 25. See, initial velocity is 25 and value of 2a is 8. That means acceleration is 4 meter per second square. Is it clear to you? So acceleration is option B, 4 meter per second square, and there should be a negative sign because the equation should be plus 2as, and by comparing we have that minus 8 is equals to 2a. From this we are getting acceleration is minus 4 meter per second square. So answer is option B. Good, Rajesh, very good. Clear? So these are some good questions which will clear your concept, and definitely you will find the previous year of NEET questions, they are easier than the class illustration. That is why I am taking this good example, so that you can feel that previous year questions are easy, and practice a lot to get perfection. Now let us talk about acceleration time graph. If we have acceleration time graph, what we can calculate from it? First of all, slope of acceleration time graph will be rate of change of acceleration with respect to time. That is not useful for us. But area under acceleration time graph, what is the area under graph? Area under the graph is definite integration from the given limits, in the given limits. Okay, so area under the graph gives you the integration between the given limits, and you know integration of acceleration is velocity. Okay, we have discussed this in the starting of this chapter, that differentiation of velocity is acceleration, so integration of acceleration is velocity. Okay, that means area under acceleration time graph will give us change in velocity. Okay, area under acceleration time graph give us change in velocity. Okay, why? Because we know that acceleration is equals to dv by dt. That means dv is equals to a dt. And what is dv? dv is a small change in velocity, and a is acceleration at that time. and dt is small interval of time. So small change in velocity is equals to acceleration at that time multiplied by small change in small interval of time. In order to get complete change in velocity, we will integrate this. So integration of dv is equals to integration of a dt. If acceleration is constant, we take it outside, otherwise we cannot. So integration of dv will be, limits will be, see, suppose limits is from 0 to t, or from t1 to t2, suppose from t1 to t2, and velocity limits are from u to v. So here we will get the change in velocity, that is v minus u, is equals to integration of a dt from t1 to t2. What is integration of a dt from t1 to t2? It is equals to area under AT graph from t1 to t2. That is why it is written here that area under acceleration time graph gives change in velocity. Remember, it is not giving the final velocity, it is giving the change in velocity. Okay, this is the most that common thing in which student make the mistake, that area under the AT graph gives velocity. No, it gives change in velocity. Change. See, I have derived this. What is change in velocity? It is integration of a dt from the given time interval. So if you want change in velocity in given time interval, and if you are having the acceleration time graph, just find area under it by integration, apply the limits, and you will get change in velocity, not the velocity, change in velocity. Okay, so let's have a question to get complete understanding of this concept. See, you are going to solve this question. Answer this quickly. Acceleration time graph of a particle is shown in figure. This is acceleration time graph. As you can see, the acceleration is not constant. Because acceleration is not constant, you cannot apply equation of motion. Don't try to apply equation of motion, because see, from initially acceleration is 0. As time is passing, first acceleration is increasing linearly and it has maximum value of 4 meters per second square. Then after 2 seconds, it is decreasing linearly, and at this t equals to 4 seconds, the acceleration is 0, again 0. So because acceleration is not constant, so equation of motion is not applicable here. Now acceleration time graph of particle is shown if at t equals to 0. See, at t equals to 0, velocity is given as 2 meters per second. Then find the velocity at the end of 4th second. That means at t equals to 4, what is the velocity? That is the question. Now again I am telling that this is acceleration time graph. This graph is not showing the path of particle. Path of particle is a straight line. Okay. Rajesh, you did some mistake. Solve it again. Let me explain you the situation, how particle is traveling. See, this chapter is motion in one dimension. Okay, so we are dealing with the cases when particle is having straight line motion. Himal, well done, you are right, very good. Hit the like button, all of you, and share this to all of your friends. This is very beneficial for those who due to corona cannot go to their institute or to school. This is very essential to learn from YouTube in this situation. Now see, suppose initially displacement is 0. This is x-axis, and suppose particle is moving in x-axis. Particle is moving in x-axis in this line, like this. It is moving like this. Okay, and initially at t equals to 0, at t equals to 0, at this moment its velocity is 2 meters per second. Initially its velocity is 2 meters per second at t equals to 0, and at t equals to 4 seconds, you have to tell me the velocity of the particle. This is the situation. Yes, Rajesh, now you are right, well done. So understood, this graph is not showing the path of the particle. Path of the particle is a straight line. It is only showing the variation of acceleration with respect to time. So we have discussed recently that area under acceleration time graph gives change in velocity. Okay, and what is the area under acceleration time graph? Because it is asking the change in velocity from t equals to 0 to t equals to 4 seconds. From t equals to 0 to t equals to 4 seconds. So from here to here we are going to find out the area between AT graph, and this is the area. What is the area? See, upward area is positive, downward area is negative, because it's the whole area is positive. So we will say this area is equals to, what is the area of triangle? It is half into base into height. Base is 4, height is 4, 4 into 4 16, 16 into half 8, area is 8. That means that the change in velocity is equals to 8 meter per second. Change is 8 meter per second. Final velocity is not 8 meter per second. Okay, and what is change in velocity? It is final velocity minus initial velocity, which is 8 meter per second. What is initial velocity? Initial velocity is equals to 2 meter per second, and final velocity it is asking. So Vf minus 2 is equals to 8. That means final velocity at t equals to 4 seconds is equals to 10 meter per second. This is the answer. Okay, answer is option D. Is it clear to all of you? How we can solve the questions related to graph? They are not tough, they require a little bit knowledge and a little practice to get perfection. Okay? So let's have some more questions. Next question for you. This is simple question of graph. Okay? Look at the graph from 1 to 4 carefully and indicate which of these possibly represents one-dimension motion of a particle. This Mohammed, no, final velocity is not 8. Change in velocity is 8. In previous question, change in velocity was 8 and initial velocity was given in the question. So initial velocity was 2 and change in is 8. So final is 10. Okay? Area under AT gives change in velocity, not final velocity. Now, which of these graphs are not possible? This is the question. Okay, this is the general graph, no equation is required. Just see all the graph and you should know the definitions of speed, velocity, properties of distance and displacement, and you will get the answer. Good, Rajesh, Imal, very good, you have answered. Well done, beta. Now, see, in first graph, that is velocity time graph. Whenever there is a time, you should see that whether the graph is giving two values at a particular time. If I talk about this time, at this instant of time, according to this given graph, I have two velocities. Is it possible for a particle to have two velocities at a particular instant of time? No. So this graph is not possible. Okay? Mohammed, think again. Again the same thing here in option 4. See, as the time is passing, the graph should give us the position of the particle. This is velocity time graph, this is xt graph. Xt means it is position time graph. So let us take this instant of time. At this instant of time, according to this graph, the particle is having two positions, x1 and x2. Okay, if this is xt graph, it should give the position at a particular instant of time. And according to this graph, the particle is having two positions at a particular instant of time, which is not possible. If I am present here right now, I am definitely absent in my home. I cannot be present in two positions at a particular instant of time. So this graph is impossible. That means it is also incorrect. Okay. Now look at this graph. Speed versus time graph. What is the speed? Distance traveled per unit time. Distance traveled per unit time. Can distance traveled be negative? No. If I am moving, my distance traveled will be positive. And if I am moving, my distance traveled should always increase. Okay. So if we talk about instantaneous velocity cannot be negative. Here, the graph is showing that the velocity is negative for this region, so it is incorrect. Third one is also incorrect. Now let us see the second one. In second one, there is no problem. See, at every instant of time, the graph is showing only one position. Okay, and it is increasing simply. So this is the possible graph for a particle having one-dimensional motion. This is displacement time graph. Okay. Yes, Imal, your reason is correct. Distance cannot be negative. So is it clear to you, Dr. Muhammad? How the fourth one is not possible? Okay. Only possible graph is option 2. Answer is option 2. So those who are new, subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon and share this channel to all of your friends. Okay, because I'm going to take online quiz of you, online quiz, where you will give me answer using a software. I will tell you, and I will submit your answer from that software, and I will display your results here. So share this session to all of your friends and classmates. Okay. The more students we will get, the more amazing quiz will be. Next question. Now this is a very good question. The velocity displacement curve. Okay, now this is velocity displacement curve for an object moving along a straight line. Okay, along a straight line. This curve is not showing the path of the particle. This is simply velocity displacement graph. The path is a straight line. Okay. At which of the points marked out of 1, 2 and 3, the object is speeding up? It is velocity time graph, and where the object is speeding up, that you have to see. Yes, Dr. Mohammed, I am planning a Menti quiz, yes, for you. So, but before that, for that, you have to share this session to maximum people. We want so many students to conduct that quiz. Okay. At which point the particle is speeding up, that means its speed is increasing. You can solve this question by formula. Also, you can solve this question by imagination only. The particle is moving in a straight line. This is x-axis, suppose this is y-axis. Now from this x and y-axis, I am showing the path. Okay, that is not the path. The path is a straight line. At this instant of time, the particle is moving like this, and the displacement is given. So as you can see, here at point 1, as you can see, by having some displacement, its velocity is increasing. Its velocity is increasing. Okay, as you can see from graph, the velocity is increasing, and when it comes, it is increasing, and it has stopped increasing at point 2. So at point 2, velocity is neither increasing nor decreasing. After point 2, its velocity is continuously decreasing. How? As you can see, this is showing velocity displacement graph, so velocity is continuously decreasing. Okay, so before 2, velocity is increasing, after 2, velocity is decreasing, as you can see. Yes, Rajesh, well done. So it is very simple. The point at which the particle is speeding up is point 1. So answer is option 1. And also you can solve this question by this mathematical method, that slope of Vs curve will be dV by ds. See, if I take this slope at this point, dV by ds is positive, because angle made by this line from this axis in anticlockwise direction is less than 90 degree. So tan theta is positive because theta is less than 90 degree. That means slope is positive. At this moment, the slope is 0 because this tangent is making 0 angle from this x-axis. So we can say at this moment dV by ds is equals to 0. And at this point, as you can see, the angle made by this tangent from x-axis is greater than 90 degree. That is why its tan theta, which is slope, which is dV by ds, is negative. Okay. Now speeding up means acceleration is there, and which is positive. Positive acceleration means it is speeding up. Now see, and velocity also positive. Speeding up means its velocity and acceleration, they are in same direction. So as you can see, acceleration is also written as v dv by ds. So at point 1, both dV by ds and v are positive. So acceleration is positive. That means they are speeding up. Okay, so answer is option 1. Yes, Mohammed, now you are right. Well done. Next question for you. Again, you can solve this question by only imagining. No mathematical calculation required. A ball is thrown vertically upward. Which of the following graphs represent the velocity time graph of the ball during the flight? If I throw a ball upward, then which of these graphs is showing the correct velocity time graph? Velocity is a vector quantity, and generally we take magnitude of vector quantity. But if we deal only with two direction, one is positive, two direction 180 degree apart, then we can choose one direction as positive and other as negative for a vector quantity. If you define, if vector is only changing its direction is in either this or 180 degree apart, we will take either of them as positive other than as negative. Think. It is not asking the wrong graph. Okay, it is asking the possible graph. Okay, Rajesh and Himal have given the answers. One of them is correct. Now see, this is velocity time graph. Can any particle have two velocities at a particular instant of time? No, so this graph is impossible. Second one is impossible. Okay, don't worry if you are doing mistake. As I told you, this doing mistake is the process of learning. Rajesh and Mohammed, well done, beta, you are right. Very good. Very good. Well done. See, answer is 4. How? See this. If this is the ground and if I throw this particle, it will go up and momentarily it will be at rest and then again it will come down. Its motion is in a single straight line, but I am showing the going and coming path separately for better visibility. Okay, this is going up and going down. As you can see, because velocity is vector quantity and I am taking upward as positive and downward as negative. Okay, so initially its velocity was in upward direction, then its velocity becomes 0 and finally its velocity in negative direction. So in upward direction, its velocity is decreasing and becoming 0. In upward direction, its velocity was decreasing and it has become 0. After 0, its velocity is becoming negative and then again increasing in negative. So becoming negative and again increasing in negative. So answer is option 4, this one. Okay, this cannot be the answer. It is saying that its velocity decreases, then again increases in upward direction. See, it says after becoming 0, velocity becomes positive. No, the velocity is becoming negative because it is coming down. Okay, so this is not the answer. And if we talk about this, this is also not possible because the particle cannot have two different velocities at a particular instant of time. This is absolutely wrong. Or we can say, because in motion under gravity, acceleration is equals to minus 9.8 meter per second square. Acceleration is negative of g. So we know that v is equals to u plus at. That means v is equals to u minus gt. Which kind of graph it is? This is a graph. This is the equation of straight line. Compare it from y equals to mx plus c. Here, as you can see, c is equals to u, which is the y-intercept, and this slope is equals to minus g, which is negative. Negative means we will have an angle from x-axis which is greater than 90 degree. So you can also solve this graph from this mathematical calculation. Okay, yes, Simal, now you are right. Is it clear to you? So you can do this by this simple method, by imagination only, or you can go for this mathematical method for exact proof that this is the equation of straight line whose y-intercept is positive and slope is negative. Negative slope means tan theta is negative, theta is greater than 90, and theta is measured from positive x-axis in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, clear? Okay, so now I am going to give you some questions as homework. Okay, I want you to practice some question in order to get perfection. So this question is your homework. Okay, and answer is given. Answer is option 1. This question is also your homework. Its answer is 4, option 4. Again, this is your homework and the answer is 1. It is again the equation of this straight line. So you can, if you are getting a straight line, then you know what will be the straight, whether it is passing through origin, positive y-intercept, negative y-intercept. Okay, and this is also your homework. Its answer is option 2. Okay, good, Mohammed, good. So that is enough for today. Download eCareerPoint app if you do not have. Download it right now. From where? Definitely from Google Play. In your Android device, open Google Play and search for eCareerPoint app without any space. You will see this app and click on install. You will see a registration form. This is very simple. Just register. Registration is free, and follow your experts. Don't forget to follow your experts, because when you follow, you will get the practice question posted by your expert, and you can attempt those questions. See, before attempt, the question was all the options were white. When I attempted this option D, it got green because it is right. If you choose B, it will become red. So this is how you can attempt the question and get your answer. So to attempt the question, you have to follow your experts. And if you want these slides as PDF, these all notes along with question and my written annotations, what you have to do, just go to this free stuff, and when you open this free stuff, you will find a lot of stuff which is given free of cost. We have both paid courses and free courses. So you can go for free courses, and in paid courses, as I told you, if you apply ST10 coupon code, you will get 10% discount. So to get my notes, I am teaching in this section class 11 physics NEET 2020 English medium. So open this, you will get this. Open this one dimension chapter and see this. Here you will find all the previous videos and here you will find notes of every video lecture. Notes, these whole slide as PDF you can download, because you have to solve these questions. So you should get this PDF. Okay, so you can download it from here. Yes, beta Himal, yes, we will take some Menti quiz, online quiz, and for that you have to bring a lot of students. So share this with all of your friends. Hit the subscribe button if you are new. Share this to all your friends. I will conduct a Menti quiz regularly. Hit the like button, and in comment section you can ask me some questions which are related to syllabus or any topic. Those questions which are related to lecture you can ask me on chat, live chat if you are live, and if you are watching this not live, if you are watching it after streaming, you can communicate me through comments. Okay, so this is the end of this chapter. This is Sumit Sir signing out. Thank you very much.